What's going on, guys? Today, this video is going to be a little different than my normal ones, but I think it's something very important that I need to talk about because not a lot of people talk about it, especially people on YouTube or people in my position, any entrepreneurs you watch, I never see really talk about this. So this is something I really want to talk about. And if you don't know, today is National Suicide Prevention Day, September 10th. So I want to kind of share with you my struggles with depression, if I ever thought about suicide, and hopefully some of you that are struggling can relate because I know I had some pretty bad days, and I just want to share with you kind of my whole story. And I'm just going to get into it because I don't even know what to say. So my whole story is pretty much in high school is pretty much when my depression started. When I was 13 or 14, probably about 14, I went to a private high school, and a lot of my friends went to a public high school. So I was very awkward at the time. I was pretty shy, felt uncomfortable with how I looked. I thought I was a little bit chubby. I wasn't really, but I just was very insecure about myself at the time. And moving to a new school where I knew maybe two people was a difficult change for me because I was very quiet. I kept to myself. I wasn't really nerdy or anything, but I was just that kid that didn't really talk to anyone. Now, over my years in high school, I kind of stayed that way. So I didn't have really, I wouldn't say I had any friends. I didn't really talk to anyone. There was a couple people here and there that would talk to me once in a while. But if I were to be in class, and we'd choose partners, I would be the person that would just sit there and wait until the teacher would pair someone up with me, because I knew no one would ever choose me to do the project with, or I would have to go ask someone, but I felt uncomfortable doing that, so I did not. Now, I did have some confidence in high school, which was mainly with sports. So when I would go play hockey, I was pretty good at hockey, and I would feel very confident when I'd go there, and I'd be more outgoing. I'd talk to people. But as soon as I got back to something where I didn't have as much confidence, I felt very insecure. Now, my life throughout high school was mainly wake up, go to school, come home, play video games a little bit, do some homework, go to hockey practice, come back, and just play more video games. So a lot of my life was just video games and sports. And that's really all I did my first 2 years of high school. Now, when I got to junior and senior year, I started to find something that helped me a lot, and that was the gym. Going to the gym, working out became one of my passions. Now, before I continue with that part, I want to share with you the difficult part about being depressed. I felt my main thing was I didn't have a situation that made me feel alone or lonely or a negative situation at all. I just felt there was no reason for me to be depressed, but I was. I felt very lonely. Like I said, I wouldn't talk to people pretty much the entire day. A lot of days I would maybe say 10, 20 words maximum while at school. And then I'd go home and I just felt very lonely. I'd eat lunch. Either the first 2 years, I felt weird eating lunch by myself. So I'd get my lunch quick. I'd go eat in the bathroom, and then I'd just go in the library and play on my phone until lunch was over and go back to class. So going to eat lunch at school, which a lot of people really enjoy and like, and that's their break, stressed me out because I felt like I was being judged, which in reality, no one cares if I was eating alone or not. I felt like I was being judged, so I would go eat in the bathroom, hide, and then go to the library for the rest of class. So that kind of continued. Now, as far as friends and whatnot, at that school, I had none. I had one or two friends outside of school. I didn't hang out a ton, and they weren't super close friends, but it was something to do once in a while. But I just felt the best way to describe it is just blah. Nothing sounds fun. It's very hard to see anything in the future. I don't want to go out and go places and do stuff. I want to stay inside and do my own thing or nothing really at all. And life just felt very blah, and I felt very lonely. And it was nothing external. There was no situation that made this happen. It was just genetically me. And that was the biggest thing I struggled with. Now, tying in suicide to all this, I thought about it, but not seriously, because there was always something in my head that knew it would get better. And the hardest part was being 14 or 15 and saying, oh, I know this will get better, but I don't see that happening until I'm 21, 22, which is the exact age I thought in my head. And it was just very difficult because it's long days, 4 years of high school. The first year sucked like that, and the rest followed, but they slowly got better. Now, that age is just a very difficult age. And like I said, with the whole suicide thing, I personally never thought about it, but I know a lot of people who did. A couple kids in my grade did. And the hardest part is knowing who is depressed and who's not. And so many people hide it. It's very hard to tell if people are, if they're just shy, if they're depressed. And you just don't know who is depressed and who's not. And one of the biggest things is I felt no one else really felt like I did. I thought I was weird. I thought I was just different and this is just happening to me and no one else really gets it. When in reality, I'd say 70% of people are depressed. Some people know they are, don't say anything. Some people talk about it. Some people don't even know they are and try and mask it with something. And that's a lot of times in high school, it's so hard and there's not a lot. Like the biggest thing for me was finding something that I felt I was valuable with. Where is my value? So it was with sports, or once I turned 17, it was going to the gym or whatever it be. Finding something you're a little bit passionate about, something you feel like you're valuable other than just going along in your daily life doing whatever. And that's when I really started to get more confidence. Again, for me, it was going to the gym. It doesn't have to be going to the gym. I didn't get more confidence because I looked better. Yes, I did a little bit, but a lot of it came from, okay, I researched this a lot. I know a lot about it. My self-worth with that grew exponentially because I knew a lot about this subject a lot of people don't know about. And at the same time, I'm looking better and feeling better. So I got more confidence with that. But even by the end of high school, I didn't really have many friends, but I did not care by senior year. I didn't try and talk to people. I did my own thing. I was going to play hockey. I was doing college classes, whatever it was. And that kind of all went away. But like I was saying, so many people are depressed. And even people you think have it figured out, people who you watch on YouTube, whoever it be, no matter their situation, they could still be depressed. And a lot of them are. Now, let me touch on just success and depression and how that goes. So there's a couple things. Am I depressed right now? No. Do I have certain periods where I am? Yes. There will be certain days or even weeks or even months where I'll feel lower than others, but learning to know what your emotions mean and how to deal with them is so important. And just that emotional intelligence of saying, okay, why am I feeling this way? Or why did I act this way when this happened? Is it because I'm insecure about this? Or why did I do this? And that's something that has really helped me that I don't see a lot of people being able to do, let alone talking about it all. And that's, again, emotional intelligence. So if I feel sad about a certain thing, why am I sad about that? Well, does that make sense? Should I be? Is there a fix to it? And just doing that and practicing that has helped me a ton. Now, as far as does success make you less depressed if you're already depressed? I'd say yes, a little bit, but it's not going to solve it. It's the best example I can give is you're not going to solve the problem. You're fixing the symptoms. So if you have a broken arm and it hurts and you go take Tylenol, that's pretty much the equivalent. You're not fixing the issue. You're putting a Band-Aid over the symptoms for a little bit, but the root of the issue is still going to come back and you still will be depressed. Now, a couple things people don't think about with success and even entrepreneurship is, let's say you do find success and you start making a lot of money. Well, do you still feel fulfilled? Are you doing something you enjoy? Is it fulfilling? And is it lonely? Is it not the type of work you want to do? There's a lot of things that come into play, but this video is mainly just to say that you're not alone if you feel that way. I'd say more than 50% of people are depressed, whether you're 13, whether you're 60. There's so many people that I know are, so many people that don't say it, and it just sucks that no one wants to talk about this because you're seen as weak or whatever it is, which you're really not because it's a normal thing. And you're definitely going to go through stages of it if you haven't, or maybe you won't. But there's going to be some points where you're going to feel that way. Now, this is where you have to see, okay, is it external? Is there some situation causing me to feel this way? Why am I sad? Or in my case, when my whole family, most of my family has depression, but it's more so genetic. So there's not some situation or struggle that is causing us to be depressed. It's genetic and a imbalance of serotonin in our body. So for me, when I started taking depression medicine, it helped me a ton because there was no issue for me to fix. It was really mainly, there was a couple things I could work on, obviously, but at that age, it was more so genetic. So as soon as I started taking depression medicine, after about a month, people noticed me becoming more outgoing. I wanted to go out and do things. Things sounded fun. It's easier to see the future. Now, is it going to solve every issue? No, but it helps tremendously. And if I were to not take it, I go back to feeling that way. I've tried stopping taking it, but for me, it's a genetic thing. And for some people, it might be. So don't feel weird going to talk to your parents about this or a doctor because it's completely normal. And I guarantee they have struggled with it too. Whether it be a different way or not, it doesn't matter. There's so many people that are depressed. And for me, the depression medicine did help. And I know a lot of people ask, I originally started taking Lexapro, which is one type, and I wasn't too much of a fan of that. So I moved to, it's called Pristiq. And that's what I've been on for a couple of years now. I've been on depression medicine since I was like 18, I believe, 17 or 18. And I haven't been off it since, but it helps me tremendously with just overall well-being, becoming more outgoing, having the motivation to go and do things. But again, if you're having some issue that's causing you to feel that way, that's going to mask it for a little bit, but won't solve it. So I just want everyone who is struggling with this to be able to relate, know there are other people out there that are struggling with the same thing, feeling the same way, even though they don't talk about it. And that's really the main thing I've noticed the last couple years getting older is how many people are depressed now, whether it's a certain reason or not. They're depressed and it's just not something that's talked about. And it blows my mind because there's so many people that are. And just me feeling weird was at that age because so many people put on facades in high school or college or even parents do. And it's just not true. And you can see it once you kind of build up your emotional intelligence. It's easy to read other people and see why they do certain things, why they act certain ways, and really see, oh, okay, they did that because they're insecure about this or certain things like that. But if you guys ever feeling down, I've had multiple people message me telling me they're going to kill themselves or say they want to, and I've talked to them, and from what I've known, none of them have. So if you're ever struggling with anything, feel free to send me a message, to email me. I answer pretty much all of them. So don't feel like that's weird, like I won't answer, because I will. It's something I've done in the past and I will continue to do. Because having someone who you know cares, who can relate to you and talk to you is the thing most people need. They don't need to be told, oh, you're amazing and you're this. They need someone to relate to them. That's all they want. They don't need compliments. They don't need, oh, you can do it. You can make it. Just look at this. They've been told that anytime they've tried to talk to them. They want someone to relate to. So feel free to talk to me if you want to. I hope some of you, this video will help, and it's just something I really want to talk about. I haven't in a while, and not a lot of people talk about it, especially in the entrepreneur space. So if you ever need someone to talk to, feel free to send me a message, email me. My email is thetannerjfox@gmail.com, and hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next video.